Hello, am I visible, audible? Can you see me, hear me? Hi. Hello. Am I audible? Am I visible? Okay. Let's just... Hello. Okay. All right. So if you can't hear me, just let me know. We'll begin our session for today. So keep the back and neck straight. Sit comfortably. And once you feel ready, very gently close your eyes. And start observing your breath. Start connecting with the natural flow of your breathing as you inhale and as you exhale. Slowly shift your attention to your body. Become aware of your posture. Align your body. And now gently come back to your breathing. Begin to deepen the breath. Going for slow, long, and deep inhalations. Slow, long, and deep exhalations. We will open today's session by chanting Om 3 times, followed by 3 Shantis. So take a deep breath in for Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Feel the vibrations, feel the sensations. Join the palms together, begin to rub the palms together. Place your palms on your eyes. Very slowly, while blinking and looking at the palms, begin to open up your eyes, coming back with a smile. Om Shanti and Namaste. Let us begin our session for today. I really hope that you are able to hear me. Are you able to hear me? Okay, great. All right. So we'll start with our session for today. So today we are going to first begin with yoga philosophy, and then we will step into our pranayama session. So in yoga philosophy, in the previous class, we have talked about Hatha Yoga, and I told you what Hatha Yoga is. I divided the term Ha and Tha, Hat into two parts, Ha and Tha, and I told you the meaning of the term Ha, which is representing your right side, and Tha, which is representing the left side. Okay? And we were going to discuss this concept more deeply. So when we talk of Hatha Yoga, we are doing the practice so that the balance can be established between the right side and the left side. Okay, balance meaning sometime during the day your right nostril becomes more active than the left nostril, right? So it has more dominance. So all the characteristics related to the right side, which are mostly active in nature, those get a like push during that time. And during other times when the left nostril is more dominant, the relaxation or the nurturing kind of energy that is within us, that gets a greater push. So at all times there is like dominance of one side, and only when the switch is happening, at that point of time, the central or the you can say midpoint, that is the uh, state that we are aiming for when it's in the middle stage, right? So the dominance of the left characteristics and right characteristics both cease to exist, and at that point of time there is a very pure kind of energy that flows, right, where both the sides are equally dominant, you can say balanced, right? And through the practices of Hatha Yoga, we cleanse ourselves so much, we undergo so much purification that the balance begins to get established on both the sides, right? So for most of us, when we perform asana also, one side is generally stronger than the other, right? So in Hatha Yoga practices also, you will see that through, even though you are doing them for development, initially you will see that one side is better for you than the other. Then slowly, as you begin to work on the other side also, you will see that both of them come into balance. Now the asana can be performed from both the sides with, equal, uh, you know, um, equal output, right? So Hatha yogic practices are all about establishing this balance. So generally, you would have seen that there is a why is the emphasis on balancing both the sides? The emphasis is drawn because we need the activation of the central energy channel, which is called Sushumna Nadi. So in previous session also I told you right side has the energy channel called Pingla Nadi, Pingala, Pingla Nadi. and left side has this energy channel called Ida Nadi, IDA, Ida, and on right side we have Pingla, and in the middle we have Sushumna, SUSHUMNA. Okay, so now generally what happens is when both of these are flowing, the characteristics of one side or the other become more dominant, right? And the nostril is also connected to the opposite hemispheres of the brain. So if my right nostril is active, then my left hemisphere of the brain becomes active. And when my right nostril is active, then when my left nostril is active, then the right side of the brain or right hemisphere of the brain becomes active, right? So when the activity of both the sides are balanced, then the energy flow can go through the central energy channel, right? So you can think of that as a pipe only, right? So there are two pipes and then there is a central pipe. So I want that the water flows through the central pipe. Now, in order to do that, I only have one tap. Okay, so either I can plug in the right, the pipe which is representing the right side or the pipe which is representing the left side, or I can plug in the pipe for central, right? So in order to have the water flow through the central pipe, I will have to make sure that right and left, they are not plugged in at that point of time, right? So when we balance both the sides, this water begins to flow through the central, right? And the central nadi or energy channel is of a lot of importance because the yogi aims to move the energy upward through this main energy channel. So this is one of the major energy channels of the body. And when the yogi is doing the practices, the aim of the yogi is the upward movement, right? Up movement of the energy through the central channel, right? So now you would have seen a very common diagram in homeopathy as well, right? If you are aware of homeopathic kind of treatments, or even a lot of doctors these days, they keep this very common logo where there is a straight line, right? And then there are two lines which are crisscrossing each other like this. You know, they are crisscrossing the central line. One is starting from the left side, it is crisscrossing, and the other is starting from the right side, and it is crisscrossing. And at few points, all three of them are like having a junction point basically. So the central line is going on, and then because of the circle being formed, it's not exactly a circle, but because of this intersection and then crossing, there is a main point for all three of them, right? So right side, left side, and central one, there is a common junction point, and this common junction point is famously known as a chakra, right? So chakra, CHAKRA, right? So there are many chakras in our body in this manner, because I told you in the beginning of the classes, of pranayama classes especially, that there are so many energy channels in the body. And because there are so many energy channels, of course, they are crossing paths at some point or the other. Okay, but when we look from the point of view of yoga, there are three major energy channels: Pingla, Ida, and Sushumna. Okay, the three that we were discussing previously, right? So when these major energy channels, they cross paths and they meet at a junction point, those are the 7 main chakras of the body. So you know, starting from the base of the spine, we begin with the root chakra, and then we move up towards heart chakra, right, covering more, and then finally moving towards the third eye chakra, right, and then finally the 7th one, last chakra is there, right? So all of these are getting formed as a intersection of the three major nadis in the body. Okay, now each and every one of them, right, that is why in yoga, you know, you are told to constantly sit up straight. Why? Because the major energy channels of the body, they are situated along the spine only, right? So the major energy channels, they are believed to be placed along the spine, the spinal cord, right? And hence in yoga, you will always see your teachers, generally say, keep the spine straight. Or you will see your teachers say that sit straight, sit with a straight back and neck. Why? Because this main energy channel is believed to be along these lines, right? So this, like, more straight you are able to sit, the better aligned your body becomes, so that the energy can flow more freely, right? So the energy, it moves up, 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 crossing these junction points, right? And as you go deeper into meditation, the sense of awareness increases. So right now it's just mere talk, theoretical talk. But as soon as you begin to do the yogic practices, you will begin to see this thing that the energy, it is actually getting impacted when you sit with a hunched back or when you sit with a straight back, right? So when you see, when you sit like this, you also feel very low, right? But when you sit straight, you become more attentive by default, right? So the flow of the energy, it completely changes the way in which, your alignment actually is. So Hatha Yoga focuses on a few major practices. So I will name them and I will explain those to you one by one, right? And then we will begin with our pranayama class. Okay. So we are going to begin with the very beginning practices of Hatha Yoga. So Hatha Yoga, it believes in the, like I said, the rules and regulations, they were generating guilt in the human mind. So rules and regulations were left behind, and first the most basic thing was worked upon, which was actually the cleansing, right? So cleansing, on a physical level, and of course that physical cleansing also has deeper impacts, but mostly the cleansing practices, they are associated with physical cleansing, and then the deeper impact is felt when you also, as you proceed in the practices, some of them have very deep impact as well, right? So cleansing practices are nothing, you guys know. There are 6 total cleansing practices, and you have done at least 3 of them, sorry, 2 of them, at least 2 of them. One is your neti practice, so be it with water or with the rubber catheter, right? So those are just variations. And then the second one that you guys have done is in pranayama class only. It is known by the name of Kapalbhati, right? So these two are your cleansing practices which you most likely have performed because of being a part of this course, right? There are other cleansing practices also. They work upon the cleansing of different body parts. Like if I talk about the Kunjal Kriya, so it's we drink a lot of lukewarm water, right, with some salt added to it, and then we puke that out. We do this on an empty stomach. So this is also again cleaning the upper digestive tract, the respiratory system, right? And then there are multiple practices like this. So overall, 6 cleansing practices are there. Then Hatha Yoga also moves on to the practice of Asana, which is the most famous form these days, right? Headstand, handstand, full split, crow pose, peacock pose. These are very, very famous poses that everybody wants to do, everybody wants to achieve. So Hatha Yoga is again including the asana practice as a way to take care of the physical body, to flush out the toxins from the physical body and to attain flexibility, right? So the lesser the toxins are, the more flexible you get, right? Then we move to the third practice, which is generally pranayama. So of course the order of this understanding, it varies from one text to the other, but talking about these practices. So pranayam class is next for you guys. So in pranayam class, again, I have deeply discussed what pranayam is, what it does. but simply understood, it is the expansion of the life force, right, through the breath. Okay. So after pranayama, there are other advanced practices like mudras and bandhas. Right, mudras are gestures, bandhas are locks. Right, mudras form a way to channel the energy, and then locks aim to fix that or lock that energy, seal that energy in a particular place. Right, so then you have other practices as well, but then they begin to merge with the more deeper practices. We are also going to talk about the school of Raj Yoga. So Hatha Yoga and Raj Yoga are like interconnected. Hatha Yoga is done with the perspective to enter Raj Yogic practices. Right, Raj Yogic practices are nothing but practices which are mostly focusing on or towards meditation, right? Working on the mind, understanding the complexities, the nature of the mind, and working through that. Okay, so Hatha Yoga is generally used as a foundation for Raj Yoga, right? So most of the practices that you are doing currently, they are preparing you for Raj Yogic practices. Only meditation class is like giving you a proper glimpse into what Raj Yoga is, because it's all about sitting for a long period of time, right? So don't get stuck in Hatha Yoga, because Hatha Yoga is just one part of what you are actually trying to achieve. And in Hatha Yoga also people get stuck just in asana practice or just in pranayama practice, just in bandha practice, right? So they just get stuck over there, not recognizing it is a stepping stone for a higher practice. Okay, so the target of Hatha Yoga is to aid Raj Yoga. This thing should also be clear to you. When the intention behind the practice changes, this intention that everything you are doing for finally just sitting down stably, comfortably, so that you can achieve your, you can achieve freedom from all of the sufferings of life, right? So this, when this thing changes, even when you show up on your mat, you will show up with a very different intention. Now, the flexibility of your body is going to help you to go towards a higher goal. It is not the end point itself, right? So if you think that, oh, if I'm not able to do this asana, this is my end point. No, you are performing asana so that you achieve some stability in your body, because you need to sit for a long period, right? So in today's times, asana, pranayama, these practices are very like they're not understood to the right point. Okay, they have been talked of, they have been introduced with a very you can say specific goal in mind, right? And you guys, when you do pranayama, you should not lose this focus, right? That I'm doing this for a greater cause. Okay, so now Hatha Yoga also, like I said, you have so many, you are in fact in your asana class, in your pranayama class doing Hatha Yoga only. So you are being taught, either variations like Ashtanga and Vinyasa are variations of Hatha Yoga, right? Or you are being taught pranayama. So in pranayama classes, I also give you the basic practice and then I tell you about some variations that you can adopt. So there is a sourcing for this thing, right? We are not just teaching you like that only. There is a proper source for all the practices. So there are two books specifically that you can read if you want to understand Hatha Yoga more deeply. The first book is called Hatha Yoga Pradipika. Okay, Hatha Yoga Pradipika, which literally means light on Hatha Yoga. Okay, illuminating the path of Hatha Yoga. So you will find multiple commentaries. It's a combination of different shlokas and then you have the commentaries. So depending on how deeply you want to go into the understanding of Hatha Yoga, you can choose a particular commentary. Some commentaries are very small, some are very thick books also, which are elaborating much more on the techniques, right? So you can go ahead, read that thing. to get a greater understanding. Second book is 𝐏𝐴𝐴 Samhita. Okay, 𝐏𝐴𝐴 𝐏𝐴𝐴 Samhita, SAMHITA. Right, so 𝐏𝐴𝐴 Samhita. So this book, again, you guys can go ahead and read. Again, you will find multiple commentaries on this book. So whatever commentary suits your understanding the best, you guys can go ahead and look for that commentary. Very famous book out there is by Bihar School of Yoga. So Bihar School of Yoga, it's a school over here. Bihar is a place in India. So the school is situated over here. So it's called Bihar School of Yoga. They have written mostly commentaries on both these texts. So you guys can go ahead, look for their commentary as well. Right? So Hatha Yoga is connected to Raj Yoga. This should be very, very clear to you by the end of these classes. Right? So today we are going to talk about a new pranayam in the pranayam session, right? So we are closing philosophy for now and we are moving towards the pranayam practices. So pranayam, in previous class we have covered Surya Bhedan pranayam, and I told you Surya Bhedan is a heating practice. Once you do Surya Bhedan, the body temperature, if it was at a particular level, it will rise up from there. Okay. And today the practice that we are going to do is called Bhastrika Pranayama. So BHASTRIKA, Bhastrika. In English, this pranayama is called Bellows Breath. BELLOWS, Bellows Breath. So, when in earlier times or today it's very rare. If you go to any villages, right? So they still, have, they still, especially those who are having farming background. So what they do is actually they have, they cut wood and they burn the fire in their house, right? So now when they burn the fire in the house, right, after some time you will see that the wood is warm, it is burning from within, but the fire isn't visible outside because oxygen falls less, right? So you will see that the people in the village, they have this long, pipe like thing, which is called a bellow, right? And they, blow in some air, they, angle it very specifically, and they blow in the air so that the fire can get ample oxygen, and then the fire which is burning inside the wood, it comes back up, right? So like the fire that we generally see, we are used to seeing, right? So now when we place that pipe at that specific location, we have to blow the air also with a particular technique, right? And that technique requires you to blow the air very rapidly, right? And hence this breath has been given the name Bellows Breath, because Bhastrika literally means bellow, right? And we are trying to acquire and release the air in a similar manner as is done during Bhastrika, right? As is done when we want to get the fire like ignited again, right? So this breath is generally done very fast, but there are different stages to do it. So you can start with the slow pace, then move towards the medium pace, and then move towards the rapid pace. Okay, there is no need to directly go towards the rapid pace. When Bhastrika is demonstrated, generally the rapid pace is only demonstrated. So people, they just try to mimic what is being demonstrated to them, right? So because they are currently not practitioners, and then they, push themselves like intense kind of practice, they immediately see the difference, some of them showing up in the form of side effects, and then they get scared of the practice in itself, right? So don't make this mistake. Again, you have to go at your own pace. You have to allow each and every breath to enter the system properly and exit the system properly. Once you get the technique correct, you can always increase your pace. But in the beginning, always try to go for a slow or a medium pace, right? So I will also demonstrate the medium pace of the practice. How is the practice done? Bhastrika, in Bhastrika, you have to inhale and exhale with conscious effort, right? So in Kapalbhati practice, we had just made the exhalation active. Now we are going to make both the inhalation and the exhalation active. In Kapalbhati, when we made the exhalation active, we used to exhale out by contracting the abdomen. Here, when we are making the inhalation and exhalation active, we are actually going for chest breathing. Okay, so my chest will move in and out, and then I am going to do Bhastrika. Bhastrika is done generally as a combination of the active inhalations and exhalations, right? So 10 to 15 to 20 rounds, however much is suitable for you. And then at the last round, we go for one practice of Surya Bhedan or right nostril breathing. So in previous class, we have actually done right nostril breathing. If you are unaware, all we have to do is with the right hand, we have to form the preferable mudra. We have to close the left nostril, inhale through the right side. And after I inhale, I will close the right nostril, exhale through the left side. So this is one round of Surya Bhedan. So after doing Bhastrika, we go for one round of Surya Bhedan and then we suspend the practice. Okay. Now Bhastrika, because it is such an intense practice, it can be done incorrectly. So what are the indications that you are doing the practice incorrectly? First thing, if you face any kind of excessive sweating, right, excessive shaking in the body, this means vomiting sensation. If you are feeling dizzy, these are all indicators, right? Means that you are not doing the practice correctly, right? Why? Because Bhastrika is quite a fast practice, and if you don't do it correctly, it will show up in the forms of some side effects, and these are those side effects, right? So if you feel vomiting sensation, if you feel dizziness, or as if you are going to just fall, right, means that Bhastrika is not done properly, right? So you have to be careful, go slow, but perfect the practice first. Okay, so let's come to the discussion of who should and who shouldn't practice Bhastrika, right? So generally, this is, as you know, it's a rigorous practice. So heart patients, high BP patients, anyone who is having pith disorder, right? Because this is increasing. Again, Bhastrika is such an intense practice that it increases the heat in the body, right? So if somebody is having any heat related issues, then Bhastrika is probably going to aggravate that. Okay. Then yeah, so heart patients, high BP patients, vertigo, stroke, gastric ulcers, hernia. These are some conditions in which you should not practice Bhastrika at all. Okay, so you have to be very, very careful while doing Bhastrika. It is not a practice for everyone. Okay. In case of respiratory disorders, you have to practice under the guidance of a competent teacher only. Otherwise, no need to practice. You can suspend the practice altogether. Let me demonstrate the practice one time and then I will share the benefits of this practice. So we sit comfortably and we deepen our breath first. So we take a few deep breaths first so that the breathing gets prepared. I'm going to place one hand on my chest so that you can see the movement. Okay. Okay. So this was Bhastrika at a medium pace. You can go faster than this and you can even go slower than this. So choose your own pace. Choose the one which is more suitable for you. Right? Don't try to follow a pace which you are unable to understand or which is having an extreme, like which is getting out an extreme reaction from your body. It's very important that during Bhastrika you keep your face relaxed, you keep your body stable because it's a rigorous practice. The body does tend to move, right? So you don't have to go into excessive movement when it comes to the practice of Bhastrika. Let's discuss the benefits for a little bit and then we will go into the practice directly. So what are the benefits of Bhastrika? Bhastrika, of course, no doubt has multiple benefits. In Hatha Pradipika, it has been written that it balances out all the three doshas, right? The three doshas that you have, all of them get balanced out with the practice of Bhastrika Pranayama, right? This practice increases the heat in your body, which helps you to get rid of the toxins in the body. So the temperature, it will go up quite quickly, right? uh, Heat is generated in the body, toxins are properly released. So sometimes there is some sweating also when people practice Bhastrika. There is some sweating. Sweating is okay. Excessive sweating is not okay. Right? So there's sweating on the body, which again signifies that toxins are getting removed because you are taking in the air and exhaling the air out at such a fast pace. Again, it's releasing more carbon dioxide from the body per minute. The number of breaths it goes up, which means even the oxygen that you attain or acquire is much more than normal breathing, right? So oxygen, your body gets properly oxygenated and then your carbon dioxide it gets properly released. So these are two very important and unique benefits of Bhastrika Pranayama. Then apart from this, Bhastrika also has the tendency to, soothe the nervous system. And after the practice of Bhastrika, you will find yourself in a very calm and unperturbed state of mind, right? So earlier, if your mind was just going like into multiple fluctuations or it was just running away in 100 directions, then after Bhastrika, you will feel that pause, that silence coming, right? So it does have a very soothing and calming impact even on your mind and emotions, right? Overall, Bhastrika will make you more active, right? So if you are of the personality who are very dull, who don't like doing anything, you don't want to get up, Bhastrika practice will overall make you much more active. It will help you to push yourself to get the work done, right? So let's begin the practice of Bhastrika. Let's see whatever benefits I've talked of, how true they are, right? And verify them through our own experience. So sit comfortably, keep your back and neck straight. And once you feel ready, very gently close your eyes. Start observing your breath. Now gently shift your focus to your body. Keep the back and neck straight. Gently come back to your breathing and begin to inhale and exhale more deeply. We will begin with our first practice. We are going to prepare the breath through abdominal breathing. Exhale fully, contract your abdomen properly. As you begin to inhale, feel your belly rise. As you exhale, contract your abdomen. Feel the abdomen rise and contract. And after your next exhalation, suspend your practice completely. Feel the changes. We are going to begin with the practice of Bhastrika Pranayama. Oh, sorry, we are going to start with the practice of Anulom Vilom first in order to prepare the breath mode, and then we will go into the practice of Bhastrika. So with your right hand, form the preferable mudra. Bring your hand up, exhale fully. Close the right nostril and begin to inhale through the left nostril. Once you inhale fully, close the left nostril, open the right nostril, exhale. Again, inhale through the right nostril. And exhale through the left nostril. This is one round. Continue your practice like this for a few more cycles. After your next round gets completed, which means you exhale fully through the left side, suspend the practice, relax your hands, and simply observe the impact of Anulom Vilom, a sense of balance and calmness induced by this practice. Keep your back and neck straight and prepare yourself for the practice of Bhastrika Pranayama. Make sure that as you inhale and exhale, there is movement in the chest region. Sit comfortably, and after your next exhalation, inhale and exhale with equal effort. Active inhalations, active exhalations. Go for about 15 to 20 rounds. Go at your own pace. You can choose the slow or the medium pace. And after your last exhalation, form the mudra with your right hand. Close the left nostril and begin to inhale through the right nostril. Close the right nostril and exhale through the left side. This completes one entire cycle of Bhastrika Pranayama. Keep your back and neck straight and observe the changes or the impact. If at any point of time you feel uncomfortable or dizzy, completely suspend your practice. Keep your back and neck straight. Keep your posture aligned. And we are going to begin with one more round of Bhastrika, anywhere between 15 to 20 rounds. After exhaling fully, begin to inhale and exhale actively. After your last repetition, close the left nostril, inhale through the right nostril. After inhaling, close the right nostril, exhale through the left nostril. And relax your hand. Keep the back and neck straight. Eyes gently closed. Just feel the changes after the practice of Bhastrika. Check the state of your mind as we are about to close today's session. Keep your back and neck straight. Close the eyes gently. We will chant Om one time, followed by 3 Shantis. Take a deep breath in for Om. Om. Shanti. 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 Feel the vibrations. Join the palms together, gently bow down. Just a sense of gratitude, just a sense of respect. Begin to rub both your palms together. Place them over your eyes. We'll do this 2 more times. Rub the palms together. Place them on the eyes. And last time. Rub both the palms together properly. Place them on your eyes. Very slowly begin to move your palms. Spread this energy on your face, on your neck, your entire body. And when you feel ready, while looking down and blinking, open up the eyes. Om Shanti. I will see you all tomorrow for your philosophy and pranayama class. So take care, guys, and bye-bye.